Cheating doesn't always start with lips touching. Sometimes it starts with one name. A name that keeps showing up. A name you weren't supposed to worry about. Jake understands exactly what I'm going through. She said it like it meant nothing. But it meant everything. That was the moment it started. The part she won't tell you about. The first step she took away from you. And toward someone else. You didn't see it coming. Because cheaters don't always sneak around in the dark. Sometimes they do it in plain sight. With coffee in hand. With smiles. With don't worry. And you believed her. You believed her because you loved her. But Jake was already there. Not in your bed. Not in your house. But in her head. That's where it always starts. She didn't need to kiss him to betray you. She just needed to trust him more than she trusted you. To confide in him. To share parts of herself with him that she stopped sharing with you. And once that door opened, she walked through it. Not all at once. Not with fireworks. But with small steps. It started when you were tired and missed the look in her eyes. It grew when you dismissed her stress and said it's not that bad. It deepened every time she looked to Jake for comfort instead of you. And while you were still fighting for the relationship, she was rehearsing her exit. With him. Jake understands exactly what I'm going through. Think about that. She didn't say, Jake's a good friend. She said he understands her. And in that moment, she handed him something that used to be yours. Her emotions. You want to know the brutal truth. By the time she cheats with her body, she's already cheated with her mind. She's already checked out of your story and started writing a new one with him. You didn't lose her last week. You didn't lose her the day she left. You lost her the moment she decided that Jake gets her and you don't. She still slept next to you. She still kissed you goodnight. But that wasn't love anymore. That was performance. That was guilt hiding in routine. That was her not ready to admit what you already felt. Something was wrong. And maybe she told you it was just stress. Or just a friend. Or just your imagination. But it wasn't. You felt the shift. You saw the smile fade. You noticed the phone flipped screen down more often. You weren't crazy. You were right. Here's something nobody tells men. Women cheat too. Not all of them. Not always. But when they do, it's usually deep. It's not about lust. It's about escape. And Jake was her escape. Every time she laughed at his texts. Every time she shared things with him that she didn't share with you. Every time she defended him more than she defended you. That was betrayal. It didn't need a hotel room. It needed opportunity, emotional distance, and your silence. Don't blame yourself for trusting her. You were supposed to. But now you know. Now you see. She told you everything without telling you anything. Jake understands me. And you didn't hear the rest of sentence. Better than you do. That's what she meant. And maybe you asked questions. And maybe she got angry. Turned it around on you. Called you controlling. Said you were insecure. That's classic. Cheaters often throw dust in your eyes when you start seeing clearly. But you're not dumb. You're not overreacting. You're not insecure. You're waking up. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about begging her to come back. This is about facing the facts. You were betrayed. Emotionally at least. Maybe more. And then, instead of fixing it, she let go. She chose distance. She chose comfort in Jake. You didn't imagine this. You watched it happen. Piece by piece. Smile by smile. Excuse by excuse. Until one day, you were no longer the one she turned to. You were the one she blamed. The one she pushed away. The one she left, emotionally long before she ever walked out. You might want to hate Jake. But Jake didn't steal her. She gave herself away. Now here's the part that matters. You don't need to chase her. You don't need to win her back. Because you didn't lose. She lost something real. And she replaced it with something easy. Your job now isn't to win her. It's to win yourself back. Your strength. Your dignity. Your self-worth. Because right now, the worst thing you can do is blame yourself for her betrayal. Yes, ask where things went wrong. Yes, grow. Learn. Be better. But don't carry her lies like they were your mistakes. She said it. Jake understands me. She wanted you to hear it. She wanted you to feel it. She wanted to make her exit easier by making you feel like you failed her. But you didn't fail. She just stopped choosing you, long before she said goodbye. Let that truth settle. It hurts. But it's clean. And once the pain fades, what's left is something stronger. Clarity. Now you know. And now you heal. Not for her. For you. The second sentence that indicates she's cheating on you. Don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends. You've heard this one before. Maybe once. Maybe 10 times. And every time, something didn't sit right. You didn't say anything at first. You wanted to trust her. You didn't want to be that guy, the jealous one. So you nodded, smiled, let her walk out the door. But your gut, it twisted a little. Because something about the way she said it didn't feel true. And that's how it begins. Here's how betrayal often starts. Not with lies, but with soft words. With a smile that looks real. With a sentence like this. Don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends. Sounds innocent, right? And maybe the first time it was. But over time it changes. You feel it in her energy. You see it in her eyes. The details get thinner. The answers get shorter. And the word friends becomes a wall you can't look behind. At first, you didn't think twice. She went out. You trusted her. That's what you're supposed to do, right? She deserves space. You don't want to be controlling. You don't want to be the bad guy. But something felt off. Her stories didn't match. The details changed. She smiled too quickly when you asked who was going. And her phone? It suddenly started living face down. You asked once, maybe twice. Who are you going with? She said, just friends. Short, quick, defensive. Now here's where it gets real. If it's just friends, why the tension? Why the closed-off answers? Why the half-truths wrapped in nervous laughter? You know why. Because it's not about going out. It's about who she becomes when she's not with you. When a woman wants to lie, she won't start with a big story. She starts by making you feel crazy for asking questions. You, are you sure you're okay? Her, why don't you trust me? You, I just want to know who's going. Her, why does it matter? Here's why it matters. Because she stopped inviting you. She stopped sharing the details. And she started using phrases like a shield. Don't worry. But you are worried. Just going out. But she never tells you where. With friends. But you never meet them. Never see them. Never hear their names. Let me say something that might hurt, but needs to be said. If she wanted you to feel safe, she would make sure you did. But if she wanted freedom, freedom to do things without guilt, freedom to hide behind vagueness, freedom to meet him without questions, then that sentence, don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends, is exactly the phrase she needs. Because it sounds harmless, but it's full of silence. You ever notice how her energy changed? She used to come back home happy to see you. Now she walks in, tosses her purse, and grabs her phone like you're not even there. You ask how her night was. She shrugs. It was fine. Fine? That's the word you use when you don't want to talk. That's the word you use when you want to shut the door. Let me tell you something men learn too late. Not all lies are spoken. Some are lived. And she's been living one for weeks now. Maybe months. She's smiling at you in the kitchen, kissing you before she leaves, saying all the right words. But her heart, it's gone. She's already emotionally packed her bags. Now, she's just waiting for the right moment to walk out. Maybe after the next girls' night. Maybe after the next fight that gives her an excuse. Maybe after she tells herself you deserve someone better. But let's be clear, she's preparing. And don't worry, I'm just going out, is code for, I don't want you to know what I'm doing. I've got someone else in my head now. Please don't ask too much, I don't want to lie out loud. Here's the part that breaks you. You probably believed her. Even when your gut was screaming. Even when your chest felt tight. Even when every time she left the house, you wondered if this was the night she'd come back different. Spoiler, she already did. She came back different weeks ago. Maybe the night she met him. Maybe the night they laughed a little too much. Maybe the night she realized she didn't feel guilty anymore. So what do? Do you follow her? Check her phone? Interrogate her like some jealous fool? No, because deep down, you don't need proof. You already have it. It's in the way she avoids your eyes. It's in the way she smiles at texts and hides the screen. It's in the way your presence feels like an interruption now. You don't need a photo. You don't need a message. You don't need a witness. You already know. And listen, she's not going to confess. She'll gaslight. She'll distract. She'll turn it on you. Because admitting it makes her the villain. And most people don't want to be the villain. They want to slide out quietly. So she'll leave the door open, but never walk through it until you do. She wants you to pull away first. So she can say, see, he stopped trying. Or, he gave up on me. But the truth? She gave up the second she stopped being honest about where she goes and who she's with. And it always starts with, don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends. Let me translate that for you. In some cases, yes, it's real. But in others, like yours, where the patterns are all there, it really means, there's someone new I like being around more than you. I don't want you to know how much fun I'm having without you. I'm hoping you stay quiet, so I can keep doing this without guilt. So here's what you do. You don't beg. You don't plead. You don't accuse wildly. You look at her. And you look at yourself. And you ask the only question that matters. Am I being respected in this relationship? If the answer is no, and brother, you know it's no, then you have your answer. You don't need to catch her. You just need to let her go. Because the real betrayal isn't what she does when she's out. It's what she stopped doing when she's with you. She stopped choosing you. She stopped telling you the truth. She stopped making you feel safe. And that is enough. You don't need to burn the house down. You don't need to yell or break things. You just need to walk away with your head up. Because this wasn't about being blind. It was about being loyal. And your loyalty was never the problem. Hers was, don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends. That line. That was the moment she stopped being your partner and started being a stranger you still sleep next to. You didn't fail her. She failed you when she decided to disappear one night at a time. So stop wondering if it's all in your head. It's not. Stop waiting for a confession. It won't come. Start choosing yourself. Because she already chose someone else. The third sentence that shows she might be cheating on you is this. I need more space. Let's stop pretending we don't know what that means. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Because when someone loves you, when someone is really in it with you, they don't need space. They need connection. They need honesty. They need to work things out with you, not away from you. So when she looks you in the eyes and says she needs space, that's not about healing. That's not about finding herself. It's about creating distance. A gap. A crack wide enough for someone else to walk through. And let's be real. You didn't see it coming. Because it doesn't start with that sentence. It starts earlier. She starts canceling plans. She gets tired more often. She stops answering calls right away. She pulls back from intimacy, not just physically, but emotionally too. And then one night, when things feel weird, when the silence between you is louder than usual, she says it. I just need some space. Sounds reasonable, right? That's why it's dangerous. Because it's the kind of sentence that makes you feel like you're the problem. Like you were too close. Too needy. Too emotional. But ask yourself something. Were you asking for too much? Or were you just asking for basic connection in a relationship? Because there's a difference between needing space and building escape routes. And what she's doing isn't healthy space. It's soft quitting. It's the first test. She wants to see how far she can pull away before you start asking real questions. She wants to see if you'll panic. Or if you'll disappear on your own, so she won't have to say the words. I'm done. Now, let's talk about the fourth sentence. Another classic. Another perfect cover for betrayal. I'm working late tonight. Let's get something straight. Yes, people work late. Sometimes it's real. But when it becomes a pattern, when it happens more after fights, when it happens right after she asked for space, that's not overtime. That's opportunity. Here's how it works. She tells you she's staying late. You believe her, because why wouldn't you? She's never given you a reason to doubt. Except now her stories don't match. She's vague about the project. She's too tired to talk when she gets home. She showers right away. She hides her phone under the pillow. And when you ask, she gets cold. As if you're the one who's doing something wrong by asking. Hey, is everything okay? You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're not insecure. You're watching the person you love change right in front of you. And it hurts. Because it's not just what she says. It's what she stopped saying. She used to call on breaks. Now she goes silent. She used to come home with stories. Now she walks in with silence. She used to want you. Now she wants you to not ask questions. Let's go back to the beginning. She said, I need more space. You gave it. Then she said, I'm working late. You believed it. But she wasn't building a better life for both of you. She was testing the exit. She was seeing how far she could go without you noticing the door closing. You probably told yourself, she just needs time. She's going through something. She'll come back around. But deep down, you felt it. The rhythm changed. The way she touched you changed. The way she looked at you changed. And that's the thing no one wants to admit. We always know. We just hope we're wrong. But you weren't. Because now, she's emotionally cold. Physically distant. Unreachable in every way that matters. And when she comes home late, she avoids you. Quick kisses. Blank eyes. Excuses. You try to talk. She checks the time. You ask what's wrong. She says nothing. But nothing doesn't feel like nothing anymore. It feels like betrayal hiding in plain sight. Let's break this down. When a woman starts pulling away, she won't always tell you straight up, because she doesn't want to be the bad guy. So she starts creating distance without having to say the words. I need space. That's the emotional wall. I'm working late. That's the logistical cover. Put them together, you get silence. You get distance. You get confusion. And worst of all, you start questioning yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm too clingy. Maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe I'm the one pushing her away. No, man. Stop right there. You are not the problem here. You're reacting to the reality she created. You're responding to signals she's sending out, intentionally or not. She said she needed space, but not to grow, to get away. She said she was working late, but not to build something, to hide something, to meet someone, to cross a line you can't see but can feel. And now, you're sitting on the couch, watching her schedule fall apart, and you're left wondering where she really is, who she's really with, what's really happening. But the worst part, she'll make you feel like you're crazy for asking. She'll call it insecurity. She'll call it mistrust. But trust goes both ways. And if she respected you, she'd want to make you feel secure. She wouldn't get angry when you ask honest questions. She wouldn't shut down when you reach out. She wouldn't hide behind vague words and pretend they're enough. You know what hurts the most? Not the lies. The effort it takes to keep lying. The time she spends crafting stories. The way she looks you in the face and says, it's just work. It's just stress. It's just me needing space. When what she really means is, I don't love you anymore. I found someone else. I'm already gone. You want to fix it. I know you do. You want to hold on. You want to give her more time, more space, more trust. But let me ask you something. When was the last time she gave you anything back? When was the last time she tried? Not out of guilt, not out of routine, but because she actually wanted to be with you? Think hard, because if you can't remember, then it's time. Time to stop begging. Time to stop waiting. Time to stop letting someone cheat on you emotionally and maybe physically while you pretend it's just a rough patch. This isn't a phase. This is a pattern. And it's one that ends the same way every time. With you left broken, and her already moving on. So here's the truth. She said she needed space. But what she really needed was room to cheat. She said she was working late. But what she really meant was, don't wait up. I'm not coming back the same. You didn't fail her. She failed the relationship. She lied. She distanced herself. And then she blamed you for being suspicious. But now you know. And you don't have to play dumb anymore. You don't need to catch her in the act. You already caught her in every cold look, every empty excuse, every late night that didn't feel right. The evidence is in how you feel. And that's enough. She told you without telling you. So now it's your turn to answer without words. By walking. By choosing peace over confusion. By choosing truth over hope. By choosing you. The fifth sentence that shows she's cheating, or about to leave you for someone else, is one you've probably heard in a movie before. But when you hear it in real life, it hits different. I think we need a break. It sounds thoughtful, reasonable, almost gentle. But let's be honest, breaks are never real. They're not space to fix things. They're permission to test life without you. And when she says it, she's not asking you to fight for her. She's asking you to stand still while she walks away. Let's not sugarcoat this. A break is just a softer way to say, I want to be with someone else, but I don't want to feel like I'm cheating. I've already detached from you emotionally, I just haven't told you yet. I want to explore what's out there but still keep you around just in case. Yeah, that last part stings. But it's real. Because breaks are not about fixing the relationship. They're about easing her guilt while she checks if the grass is greener. You'll hear her say things like, it's just temporary. I need time to think. It's not about anyone else. But if it's not about anyone else, why now? Why after the late nights? Why after the emotional distance? Why after you felt her slipping for weeks? Because she already made up her mind. She just didn't want to deal with your reaction. She wanted it to feel like your fault too. And here's the worst part. You might agree. You might say, yeah, maybe we do need a break. Not because you believe it, but because you don't know what else to say. Because you're too tired, too confused, too broken, to fight for someone who already walked out emotionally weeks ago. And just when you start hoping maybe she'll come back, she drops the final sentence. The one that sounds like she's being kind. But it's really just the final push out the door. You deserve someone better than me. Let's break that down. At first, it sounds deep. It sounds like she's hurting. Like she's trying to protect you. Like she's doing this out of love. But that's not what's happening. What she's really saying is, I feel guilty but not enough to stop. I've already chosen someone else, but I don't want to say out loud. I need to end this in a way that makes me look good, and you feel like you're the lucky one walking away. It's the ultimate deflection, because now you're the one second-guessing yourself. You start thinking, was I too much? Was I not enough? Maybe I did deserve this. Stop. Right now. You didn't deserve to be lied to. You didn't deserve to be betrayed. You didn't deserve to be softly replaced while still trying your best. She cheated. Emotionally. Maybe physically. She distanced herself. She shut you out. And now, she's leaving with a nice little bow on top. You deserve better. No, you deserved honesty. And she didn't give you that. Here's what you need to understand. When someone really thinks you deserve better, they become better. They show up. They fix it. They stay. They don't disappear and blame it on some noble reason. Because that sentence, it's not noble. It's cowardly. She wanted out. And instead of saying, I messed up. I gave up. I don't love you anymore. She gave you a line that sounds like love, but means nothing. You deserve someone better than me. That's not love. That's exit strategy. So now what? Now you face it. Not the fantasy of her coming back. Not the illusion of her missing you. Not the hope that she'll realize what she lost. No, you face what she already decided. And you reclaim the part of yourself you gave to someone who didn't deserve it. Here's the full picture. She said she needed space. Then she said she was working late. Then she started going out more, telling you don't worry. Then she dropped the soft bombs. We need a break. You deserve someone better. And now, you're here, with truth in your hands. It hurts, but it's clean. Because now you know. She didn't slip away by accident. She walked away on purpose. And she used words like band-aids, covering wounds she created, so she didn't have to feel the sting herself. But you felt it all, and you're still standing. So here's what happens next. You stop waiting for her text. You stop wondering if she'll come back. You stop playing old memories like they're proof she cared. Because the version of her you loved, she's gone. The woman you see now is someone else. And no sentence can hide that anymore. If she ever loved you, she didn't end it like this. Not with fake kindness. Not with excuses. Not with cheap emotional tricks to make herself feel like the hero of a story where you were the one betrayed. You don't need closure from her. Her silence was the answer. Her distance was the decision. Her phrases were the script she rehearsed to leave without facing herself. You want to heal? Here's how. Stop asking why. Start asking what you've learned. And the first lesson is this. People show you who they are when they leave. Not when they meet you. Not when they love you. But when they exit. And her exit told you everything. She said, I need space. I'm working late. I'm just going out with friends. We need a break. You deserve better. And with each sentence, she moved one step further from the man who loved her, while already stepping towards someone else. So here's your final sentence. You're done. Not because you stopped loving her, but because you started loving yourself again. Because you realize that anyone who says you deserve better while giving you less was never the one to begin with. Let her go. Let the truth hurt. Then let it harden you. Not in bitterness, but in clarity. Because next time, you'll recognize these phrases early. And you'll never again stay for the soft lies that come before the hard goodbye.